Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. How are you? So, I wanted to be a little more cozy today, so I'm all cozied up on my couch. I'm not really used to doing lives in the daytime, so I'm in a very relaxed mode right now. So, I thought we'd switch things up and have me be on the couch. How are you guys? Are you well? Good. Thank you for being here. I recognize that people usually tend to tune in at night, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just really pleased to be on here with you guys today. Yeah, I just wanted to open up, let the light in, and just be cozy on my couch. So we're gonna get going in about a minute from now. You may want to grab a notepad, only if you want. This is how I used to do my videos on the couch. It's actually very comfortable. It's a different vibe. I love you too. Thank you guys for your continued support, for your contributions, everything that you do for me. I really appreciate you. Oh, my favorite lecturers live. That's the sweetest thing ever. Thank you. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. First off, welcome everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here for yourself as well. And my intention, I always like to have an intention whenever I do things. My intention today is to not necessarily blow your mind like in the last video, Dr. Quantum, but rather be here to support and serve you. That's my intention today so that we can add more tools to our toolkit to better be able to navigate this incredible and incredibly crazy reality that we're in. All right, so I'm going to start with some good news. This is all about December, okay? So, good news is that I was clearly shown that if you are single, love is coming your way. So your soulmate is arriving very soon. And not only soulmates, if you're not single, it's going to look different. It's going to be that there are new possibilities, new opportunities that arrive forth into your life. So this is happening. And I got that this is going to be happening most likely in December, but also in January. Think of December as a month to open up your channel, as a month to really get into that receptive mode, to kind of prime yourself to receive what it is that you want, to receive what it is that you desire. As we all know, we've been in a bit of a dire situation in the world. Things are quite tyrannical, quite chaotic. And I believe that everything is going to be narrowing down so that we can start to reevaluate what's important to us and to get realer on what really matters to us, what really is significant for us, such as love. I think we can all attest to the fact that we want love in our lives. And so rather than being distracted all the time, the world is getting tighter so that we can get clearer on what it is that we want in life rather than, we have a tendency to put things off because we're so busy, we're so preoccupied, we have all these schedules. And I think that the way the world is going is really showing us what we want to start prioritizing more than ever. So thank you, Amy, for that donation. So here's what I want to say to you. December is all about clarifying your mind. It's all about parting the fog that's been surrounding your frequency. So your frequency's been clouded, it's been fogged up. This month is all about parting the fog. It's about getting so spick and span clear on what kind of life you want to have and then being committal to that. It's important to implement specificity. Specificity is huge when you're dealing with the universe, because when you're not specific in life, then there's almost like a space or a leak in your boat or a leak in your energy field. And then you allow things in that you don't necessarily want. But sometimes we have to let those things in to realize that we don't want them. You can actually skip that step. How? By recognizing that you are perfect as you are, that there's nothing wrong with wanting affection or wanting security or wanting safety. The world is getting more crazy right now, so you're not here to do this on your own. You're also not here to be codependent, but we'll get into that later. You are here to really start to feel safe in the world. So I feel like the universe is sending us help right now so that we can start to develop these interdependent relationships where we can scratch each other's backs, have each other's backs, and really lean on each other, because you were not designed to do it on your own. So getting into this very important point that I want to drive home, clarifying your mind through specificity. Clarifying your mind through specificity. Now, we're going to go a little deeper. There's a difference between getting clear from a place of having been hurt versus getting clear from a place of having an open heart. All right? Hurt and heart sound similar. But when you're hurt, we tend to drag our past into every situation, into every new relationship. And we're still shielding ourselves. We're still in that defense mechanism with people. So that's not getting clear. I'll give you an example of a defensive version of getting clear. All these people screwed me over in my past. So now I'm going to have all these criteria I want people to meet, all these boxes that I want people to check, because I will not be screwed over again, because I will not be cheated on again, right? That's more of a clarity coming from a place of woundedness. Are you following? So that clarity is not the clarity we're after right now. I see you, Melissa. Thank you. So clarity isn't, these people did that to me. This guy treated me like dirt, and now I'm never going to let that happen to me. So I'm going to have all these people check these boxes. I'm going to interview them so that I make sure I never get hurt again. That's more of a protective mechanism versus being clear from a place of open-heartedness. Oh, someone hurt me in my past, but I've learned so much. It's provided me with more clarity on what I want, on the kind of relationship I want to experience. I want affection. I want to be challenged to do things that are tough for me sometimes. I want to step out of my comfort zone. That is more of a positively oriented path. That is you having a more of a willingness to progress yourself in life. That is you operating through vulnerability, through sincerity, through transparency. And I find that a lot of people right now they're in this weird position where they're almost at the point where they want to let their guard down, but they're still like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but they're close, but they're still like, I'm not sure. You're going to get what you put out. So if you're not sure, you're going to invite a situation that you may not like until you get sure. You have to decide, I am willing to go into something with my heart wide open, even if it means getting hurt. But I'm always going to have the intention of expanding as an individual, of opening up my heart into more and more and more love. So the theme in December is opening up to love. Opening up to love. So every single person that you encounter, my friends, every single person, it can be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be someone that you're dating. someone that you're newly dating, every single person that you come into contact with, I want you to remember they may not be the one, but every person sent your direction is an opportunity to open up to more love. It's all about your perception. It's all about your reception. How am I receiving this feedback from this person? How am I receiving them hugging me? How am I receiving them telling me they like me? How am I receiving that? Am I leaning into it, or am I leaning back, springing back into more of a protective mode? If you're in a protective mode, I promise you, because you are the creator of your own reality, if you're in that protective mode, you're going to keep being in that resistant mode. And as a result, you're going to perpetuate the cycle of drawing to yourself things that you still resist, things that you still protect from. So we don't want to protect ourselves anymore. We really want to we really want to get to a place where we're like, the entire universe has been a school, it's been a university to show me that I have nothing to be afraid of. That even when someone cheats on me, I can, even though that's difficult, I can still see them as a divine being who just wasn't willing to be honest enough about what they wanted, who was still playing in the shadow. That's coming from a compassionate and loving place. And of course, they hurt me. And of course, that was unacceptable. But I'm going to take the higher road, and I'm going to see them through the eyes of God. I'm going to see them through the eyes of Source. I'm not going to punish people anymore. I'm not going to project my past onto every new person that I meet, because then I'm stripping myself or depriving myself of a wonderful experience that I could have, which has nothing to do with others. I repeat that, of a wonderful experience that I can have, which has nothing to do with others, but has to do with me coming into more love within myself, coming into greater understanding within myself, coming into greater forgiveness within myself. It's not about other people. If you go out with a guy or with a girl and you decide, I'm going to be intimate with them tonight because the connection is fire, I'm really appreciating this time that we're spending together, then you sleep with them, but be responsible for that choice. Know that even if you never see them again, you still got to enjoy a wonderful and beautiful connection that day or that night, and don't expect more than that. Okay? This is about getting so clear on what you want that you take responsibility for everything that you enter into. Everything that you enter into. So I'm clear that I want love. Even if this person isn't my person, I feel the love. So I'm going to open up and allow myself to receive this experience. Or it might be the opposite. It might be, well, I'm ready for love and I don't want to just sleep with a random person. I'm going to hold out for my one. That's perfect. You really get to input those settings, because as the creator, you're a master magician. And the settings that you input into your experience is the lens you're going to experience it through. So this is all about responsibility. So I want you to know that great things are afoot. I saw this very clearly this morning. That's why I'm on here today. Great things are afoot, but it's not about focusing on what you don't want. Forget all these stories that you drag with you. Oh, but I slept with a guy in the past and he ditched me. Who cares? That's a story. Open up your heart. Stop holding on to stories. Stop. It's heavy. These stories have memories in them. They have pain in them. And when we carry them with us, it's like carrying 5 suitcases when all you needed was a carry-on. That's all you needed. You didn't need 5 suitcases. All you needed was a little carry-on for a weekend getaway. So remember to travel light. And remember that you create from the now. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. You don't want to penalize the people you come into contact with based on what you've been through in your past. Because if you're penalizing them for what you've been through in your past, you're still not taking radical self-responsibility for yourself. When you take full responsibility for yourself, there's no more stories. Oh, I got a parking ticket? Yeah, I take responsibility. I didn't add money to the meter. Done. There's no story. Done. You learn from it. You grow from it. You don't get home and say, can you believe they gave me a ticket 1 minute after I didn't put money in? Yeah, that's because you didn't put money in 1 minute before. So this is about accountability. All right. Think of how much lighter it is in your being when you're not carrying all these stories with you. It's so much lighter. You're like a feather. You're light as a feather. I always think of an iPhone. So if you have a lot of gigabytes of photos and videos in your iPhone, then you might reach the max and then you won't be able to add photos or videos to your phone. So think of your life that way. Sorry, 1 second. Oh my God, you guys, my new MacBook just shipped. Yay! It's gonna have a better camera. It's amazing. So it's gonna be here in like a couple days. Okay, so when you have a lot of gigabytes, then you don't have a lot of storage space. So you can't actually invite in more memories and more experiences. But when your phone isn't taking up all this room, then you can bring in so much more energy, so many more experiences. That's because you're not all backed up like a toilet. You're not all congested like an iPhone that has all these photos in there. So you want to create space for yourself. So this month is all about creating space. It's all about being very specific, but not from a place of being hurt. Okay? We're not going to get clear on based on what on the past events that wounded us, that scarred us. No. Because then you're going to dump all of that stuff on the people that you meet or situations that you're in. It doesn't have to be a person, it can be a situation. You're at a job and you start being mean to everyone around you. So it could be all kinds of things. It can be that you don't have money in your account and now you start to project your fear onto your bank account, onto your life. Oh, I don't have money. What am I going to do? So that takes up a lot of space because it's all resistant based. Ooh, takes up a lot of space because it's all resistant based. Yes. So what we want to do is clear up that space, clear it up, clear it up, clear it up. When you love yourself, the only thing that exists is here and now. You know, I was speaking to a friend last week who was like, who's having problems with someone, and we'll get to that in a minute, who's having problems with a new friend. And this new friend is super clingy and super codependent and gets really passive aggressive. And my best friend is super independent. He doesn't do drama. He has a very peaceful life, but he didn't expect that to happen with this new person in his life. And this new person is constantly trying to make him feel bad or trying to guilt him. And my friend said to me, well, what should I do next time they do this or next time they say that? And it's like, brother, you're getting ahead of yourself. You're out of alignment. Come back to yourself now. Okay? Don't give your power away to the next scene in your movie, because then it'll be a scene in your movie that doesn't need to be a scene in your movie. You are the director of your life, my friends. You are the producer. You are the screenwriter. You are the actor. You are everything. Everything. So sometimes we jump ahead of ourselves. Well, Phil, what should I do next time this person says this to me? You're not being present. This is about being in your center. Your center is your present moment, and we create from the center. We don't give our power away to people or to that next chapter in your book, because then you're going to create it. That's how powerful you are. Once you start to really grasp the magnitude of your creational power, you're going to stop all these shenanigans. I'm going to repeat that. I don't even know what I said. Once you really start to grasp the creational power, the magnitude of your creational power, you're going to stop all your shenanigans. But we say things like that when we're misaligned. Well, what about next time? That's because we're already in survival mode, getting ready to get our punching gloves and defend ourselves. We don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to fend for ourselves. We just have to be here now and know that any thoughts that are disturbing to you, all you need to do is let them pass. The second you click on those thoughts, think of your thoughts as a bus. The second you hop into that bus, then you're off. You're going to be off to misalignment land. So your thoughts are just there to get you to strengthen your mastery. Your thoughts are just there to really fortify yourself, to go, oh, it's just a thought. I'll let it hang out. And as it's hanging out, I'm going to transform myself because I'm not going to take the bait. I'm not going to jump into that bus. Because if I jump into that bus, it's going to bring me to a bus station and to a city that I don't want to be in. It's a city filled with melodrama. It's a city filled with problems. It's a city filled with unhappiness. It's a city filled with discontentment. You don't want that. So don't hop into the bus. I was speaking to my friend Elizabeth a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, but Phil, you just need to get in the game. Just choose a bus. And I'm like, no, you got it wrong. I'm not saying you got it wrong. You're right. But the way I live my life is when I'm observing these different thoughts, I'm already on my highest timeline. I'm already on the best bus. You see? Sometimes we have this misconception that we have to choose something that's disturbing us, because then it'll make all our problems go away. But what if you observing your thoughts is the highest timeline? You're already on the highest timeline by observing your thoughts. That is the highest timeline. That is a timeline. Rather than jumping into a game within a game, you're like, yo, I'm in charge of the whole game. I'm observing everything. I don't need to jump into a sub game, meaning a game within a game. I can be the one in charge of this whole thing. I can be the director, the producer, the screenwriter, the actor. But my actor's having a blast because I'm never really in the actor. I never get lost in the actor. I never forget that I'm the director. I never forget that I'm the writer. So, anyways, now we're going to move into the next point. So you guys caught that? Clarity through vulnerability, not through woundedness. Because woundedness is resisting your destiny. Woundedness is going to perpetuate your dissatisfaction in life. No one's here to save you, okay? This is about remembering that you are whole. Ooh. No one's here to save you, because we're here to remember that we're already whole. What makes us believe that we're broken is that we took the bait with so many thoughts that pulled us out of our wholeness. We jumped into so many different buses that brought us to cities and destinations that we didn't want to be in. And we're like, oh my God, I am this destination. No, you are not that destination. You just left home and you were supposed to stay home. You were supposed to stay in your wholeness. You're already whole. We are here to remember that we are whole. Okay, segueing into the next point. So there's a theme in the month of December where we don't have time to fuck around anymore. Period. We do not have time to fuck around anymore. And what I mean by this is that we need to be so in sync with the universe. We need to be so in sync with our higher self that we never, ever hesitate to speak our truth. A lot of us tend to hesitate, okay? So going back to my friend who has this new person in his life who's very passive aggressive, that friend called him like 2 nights ago. And he had a chance to set the record straight and be like, yo, this is a lot for me. And he didn't. He got scared again. And it's like, dude, that was your opportunity to not have any delays when it comes to your truth. We tend to create all these delays when we already know what our truth is because we're afraid of hurting other people. So the universe is going to keep sending you or throwing you these curveballs so that you can finally step into your truth and become the higher self. So think of the higher self. Do you think the higher self is taking a nap right now? Do you think the higher self is like, oh, Phil is good. I don't need to look out for Phil right now. No, the higher self is constantly on duty. The higher self is always aware of you. Always. We have to become that. We have to start operating as the higher self. But a lot of us, what we do you get the visual I'm sharing right now? A lot of us, there's the higher self, which is always, always looking out for you. It doesn't have time to take a nap. Its main job is to be at your disposal. Its main job is to be at your service. We eventually want to emulate that. We want to become that, but we have to synchronize with that. The higher self is outside of time. The human self gets stuck in these loops like, oh, I didn't speak my truth this time. I'll do it next time. Right? I really want to tell my wife that I cheated on her, but I don't know if it's time. So the human doesn't operate with integrity because it's too afraid of the repercussions. We need to synchronize with the higher self, and we can't hesitate anymore. We have to be so on our own game that there are no more delays when we speak. Someone says something, you're not feeling it, you say it. Boom. There's no more guilt. There's no more fear around other people's reactions. There's no more wanting people to like you. You need to be so with it, so quick on your feet that you don't pause anymore. Because when you pause, you end up hurting yourself. You end up going, shit, I had a chance. Shit, I had a chance, right? So here's what I wanted to say to you. In the month of December, things are going to come to a head within your personal relationships. You're going to see more codependency than you have in a long time. That's because you're starting to detach yourself from codependency. And anytime you start to individuate yourself, meaning you start to become your own person, people around you start to feel subconsciously threatened by that. You have to remember that we're all interconnected. So if I start to pull away from you, not in a dysfunctional way, but I start taking care of myself more without telling you, you might subconsciously start to feel insecure. You might just subconsciously start to feel like, oh, our friendship is ending, but it's not. It's just transforming. Humans are so small-minded that they're like, oh my God, they're leaving me. Oh my God, they haven't called me in a week. You have to allow people to grow. You have to allow the friendship and the relationship to take on a different form. You can't always get twirled up and swirled up in wanting it one way. That wouldn't be growth. So the people in your life, I'm speaking to you because most of you are the black sheep in the family. So most of you are the system busters. You're the first ones to bust the systems. So you're going to find that a lot of people in your life right now make final attempts. It's like a last-ditched effort to make you feel bad. They're going to get real needy. But that's going to be your opportunity to not beat around the bush, to not create a delay, to be fully in sync with your higher self and tell them what's on your heart. Like my friend the other night had an opportunity to tell this guy, whoa. And instead, he dropped down a level and was like, well, you didn't call me the other day. And it's like, dude, don't do that. You're not even that interested. You're not being in your true self. His authentic self would have said, hey, Nate, you're an amazing guy. I'm really happy that we've met, that we're working together. But I'm really not available to give you the kind of friendship you're looking for. I'm really tight with God. I'm really tight with the universe. And honestly, I really just want to keep to myself most of the time. And I'll be happy when we connect, but I'm not able to give you the kind of friendship you're looking for right now. I'm really sorry, but it's true. And you'll find that whenever you speak your truth with people, they understand. They understand. But you have to be willing to be honest. Because if you're not honest, guess what's happening? Guess what's going to happen? You're still in that protective mode. So going back to my first point in this video, we don't want to be in the protective mode anymore because that's not opening up to love. That's not opening ourselves to possibilities and opportunities. You see? So it's all connected, my friends. If you're protective and you beat around the bush, then don't complain if what you're trying to manifest doesn't manifest. You can't complain. You're the one doing that to yourself. The universe sends you countless opportunities throughout the day to not skip a beat. To not skip a beat, to speak your truth now in a loving manner. And I think a lot of us play this crazy shenanigan with ourselves where we're like, I don't get it, Phil. I'm twiddling my thumbs. I keep staring at the clock. I've been doing everything to manifest, right? But have you? Are you honest and genuine enough with the people in your life to tell them how you really feel? Because if not, then of course you're not going to manifest what you want. Your manifestations are highest potential. Being your fake self who's afraid to speak up is not your highest potential. You need to start dwelling within the reality of your full potential, which is transparent. Okay, we got to get the ego out of the way. We got to get those photos and those videos out so you can invite new experiences in. So remember, we are not here to mess around on this planet. This is a school, my friends. We have to take this seriously. I'm leveling with you right now as your friend. We have to take this seriously. Are you going to put people first or are you going to put God first? Who are you going to put first? Are you going to put people first because you're afraid of them? That's fear. God doesn't do fear. So are you going to put God first, which is going to teach everyone around you in a much more effective way? That's why I'm so unwavering in my life, because I'm not here for me. I'm here for, well, I am. I'm here for me and God. It's both. They're one and the same. You can't create separation. I don't want people to say, "Oh, do you think you're God?" No, I'm not saying I'm God. I'm a part of God. We are all part of God. We're all part of God, but we have a mission to carry out. So to me, it's like it's a non-negotiable. You're either going to be in your truth without any delays, or you're going to be in your truth and be fully in sync with the higher self that's never napping. It's always looking out for you. This is about becoming so highly aware that you're not you never miss anything. You're always boom, you're vigilant. You're vigilant. You're aware of everything that's going on. So one of the themes in December is that a lot of your relationships are rendering themselves into more of an interdependent rather than codependent relationship. But there's going to be a bit of a tug of war. There's going to be some friction there between you and certain people in your life because they're holding on to an older version of yourself. They're also holding on to an older version of what you guys used to be. But we can't stay where we are. We have to keep evolving ourselves. So you don't have to cancel those people. You don't have to break away or break up with them. You don't have to do that. You just have to be courageous enough to look them in the face and be like, I really love you. I'm not going anywhere. But right now, this is what's on my mind. And I need to tend to that because that's part of my mission. So however you word it is going to be perfectly. I have my own way of wording things, but I'm always honest with people because I know that if I'm not honest, I'm going to have a late fee. My friend Monique Marvez, she's amazing. You guys should look her up on YouTube. She's a comedian. She's a good friend of mine. She told me the other day, you don't want to have late fees. You don't want to have late fees. When you don't speak your truth, you're going to have late fees. Meaning you're going to have to revisit that lesson again and then again and again until it's fully eliminated. So don't have late fees, my friends. Don't create unnecessary delays. You either choose you now or you wait. But if you're going to wait, don't question why what you're wanting to manifest hasn't manifested. Okay, you're either choosing you, your true self, that vibrates really fast, just like your higher self. And then you start to manifest because there's no fear standing in your way anymore. There's no dam in your river anymore. Or you put off your truth, but then at that point, don't have a pity party of why isn't it happening? It's not happening because it's all on you. You're the creator. Are you going to be a people pleaser or are you going to be a creator? Ooh, ooh. Are you going to be a people pleaser or are you going to be a creator? Here's the thing about people pleasing. When you're a people pleaser, other people are creating your reality for you. Have you noticed that? When you are a people pleaser, other people are creating your reality through you and for you. And of course you get pissed off because it's not your creation. It's your sloppiness manifesting. It's your own sloppiness that's manifesting in physical form to show you you're a creator and you created sloppiness. You created toxicity. You created dysfunction. You can't blame other people. You weren't on your game. You have to be quick with it. Because otherwise, people are going to create for you. A true creator is self-responsible. A true creator doesn't mess around. A true creator operates at its highest frequency and knows that that's the highest form of love. Because it's integral. Because it's truthful. Because it's honest. Because it's transparent. When you interview people that you're on a date with, you're not connecting, you're interviewing. That's a defense mechanism. You're not being a creator. You're not. You're not being responsible for your past. Ooh. Ooh, you're not being responsible for your past. You're like, I got this baggage and I need you to take care of my baggage and me. That's not fair. How is that fair? You want someone new in your life that you've never met to take care of your baggage and you? Like, that's a lot. That's a lot to ask. So you're actually not being a creator. A creator is, I'm here now. I create from this now. And you're constantly, you know that Etch-a-Sketch? And then you would shake it and it's like, it blanks out again. You erase the Etch-a-Sketch. You have to live your life like a blank Etch-a-Sketch. You can't live your life with all these designs on there. You can't. You have to constantly shake it. Whoop, I'm here, open heart. You know you're not in your heart when you're running stories. When you're running all these narratives in your mind. Oh, I don't know about them. They remind me of my ex. They are not your ex, sweetheart. They're not your ex. They're a new person, and the universe is handing you the remote controller to play again. To play from a place of empowerment, not disempowerment. People pleasing is disempowerment. Creatorship is empowerment. It's responsibility. Okay? So people pleasing is disempowerment. Projecting your past onto people is disempowerment. We have to get so raw. We have to get so vulnerable, realizing that that's what's going to fast track the process of us colliding with our destiny. That's what we forget sometimes. That's what we forget, right? We're not real with people because we're afraid to hear the truth. We're not real with people because we're afraid that we might lose them. If you're real with someone and you lose them, they were not part of your destiny. Period. Remember something. Remember something. The more honest and open you're willing to get with yourself and with what you truly want, not from a place of guardedness, not trying to shield yourself from people, but from a place of leaning into life because everything is you. The sooner you do that, my friends, the sooner the truth will be revealed. What we do is we stuff all of our emotions down. We try to be strong when really what we want is to be hugged. We try to be mighty when all we want is for someone to love on us. That's you shoving down your emotions. That is you putting off the truth from revealing itself. So, sure, you might get in a relationship, but it won't be your ultimate relationship. It's going to be a relationship based on the archetype that you're playing, based on the character that you're playing of someone who's been hurt, who's acting like you're strong. It's a lot more beautiful and a lot more attractive when you're able to say, you know what, I was really hurt, but I'm still here and I'm really looking forward to meeting the love of my life. That is openness. When you live from that place, you might get 1,000 rejections, but it's because the universe is speeding everything up for you so that your true person can eventually find you and love the shit out of you. Okay? A lot of people are in relationships, but they're not being their true vulnerable selves. That's why they're never happy, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of efforting that goes into that. Man, I didn't realize we have like 1,400 people in the house. It's a lot of people, it's a lot of efforting that goes with that. Like, think of how exhausting it is to always put up a facade. Think of how exhausting it is to always act like you got it. You're not here to do it on your own. And the universe is trying to send you all this support, but if you're blocking out that support by not being vulnerable, I repeat that, if you're blocking out the support that the universe is trying to send you by not being vulnerable, okay, then how can you expect to actually ever be supported? You can't. You have to receive goodness. When someone buys you something, thank you so much. Receive it. Don't be like, you shouldn't have. Oh my God. Da, da, da. You're not receiving it. You're resisting it. When are you going to allow that good energy to infuse your body, to inject itself into your life? You're the only one that can allow it in. No one else can allow it in for you. So this is about consciously deciding, I'm ready. I am ready to be open, to be blank, meaning to empty myself, to empty all those gigabytes, to empty myself and allow the universe to fill me up. And I'm not going to be defensive anymore. Look, your highest destiny is always interacting with you. Whether you're talking to a family member, whether you're talking to a friend, it doesn't matter. Your highest destiny is always trying to open you up. Always trying to open you up. So you have a friend that criticizes you. Are you going to get mad and reactive? You're not opening up. Or are you going to be like, hey, that really didn't feel good to me. I love you, but I'm really clear on what I'm doing in my life, and I really trust my inner guidance. And that wasn't warranted, but I love you. That's open. That's open. Right? So we can either perpetuate not being the best director, or we can start creating, I am the only director in my life. I'm the only one that's here. And everything else is a reflection of me trying to get me to step up to the plate and become a creator. Everything else is just a figment of your imagination, showing you where you're still contracted versus where you're still expanded. Are you contracted when people criticize you? You're not opening up to love yet. Open up your heart. That had nothing to do with you. All they were doing was displacing their own anger onto you. Nothing to do with you. Open up your heart. Keep opening up to love. Keep opening up your channels. It's all energy, my friends. I always say that because it's true. It's all energy. When you're in a state of disempowerment, you're operating at a lower frequency. You're blocking out all the light that can be permeating your body. When you're operating at a higher frequency, which is vulnerability, honesty, truthfulness, integrity, then the world is your oyster. You can pick and choose anything you want, but remember to be specific. When you go to a vending machine, you can't just go 5G and then get the yellow M&Ms. If the yellow M&Ms are on 4H, you have to type in 4H. I'm ready for a man to love me. I'm ready for a woman to hold my hand. I can admit that this is a lot to do on my own. I'm ready for support. I'm ready to be able to rest my head on someone's chest. I'm ready for all of it. I'm ready, 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 ready. You're so clear on what you want, but you're not doing it from a place of defensiveness. You're doing it from a place of I'm ready for love. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys? Now, there's one more thing I want to talk about. I know it's almost been an hour. You're going to feel very tempted right now, very tempted to talk about people who constantly attack you. So if you're watching this, you're likely a black sheep in your family, a black sheep in life. Usually when you're a black sheep, there are going to be instigators. There's always an instigator in a relationship, okay? Uh, in toxic relationships, I should say, or dysfunctional relationships. There's always an instigator, someone who starts, someone who pokes at you, someone who presses your buttons. There's always an instigator. The thing about these instigators is we sometimes feel justified to tell our friends that they're not treating us right, right? But that can spill over into victimhood. And I've done this too. Believe me, I've done this a lot. And I realized that these people were sent my way because if they hadn't been sent my way, I wouldn't know that I still have a propensity to complain about it because I've been picked on my whole life. But the thing is, not a lot of people can pick on me because I'm pretty strong. I have thick skin. But there's been a couple of people in my life that still managed to do it. And I realized a few years ago, if I always talk about what they're doing to me, then I'm never going to break the cycle. The only one that can break the loop is me. So from now on, when they do it to me, I'm either going to distance myself emotionally or I'm going to tell them how that makes me feel. And if they keep doing it, then at that point, I will start to move away energetically, emotionally. I'm not going to be as available for them. But the only way that I can break this cycle is if I stop feeding into this storyline. I have to stop feeding this idea that these people are out to get me, that they're wanting to attack me all the time, that I disappoint them all the time. I have to get out of that. We are the ones who are being called into our mastery. Okay, those people aren't going to change. They may change if you change, but they're not going to change. Don't count on them changing. Count on you becoming the master that you came here to be. Ooh. Count on you becoming the master that you came here to be. If someone hurts you, if someone speaks poorly of you, don't turn around, call your friends, and tell them what happened. Okay? It's time to graduate out of that level and into our mastery. Otherwise, you're going to keep that same cycle alive because you're feeding the beast. You are feeding the very loop that you're in. Be willing to open up your heart. Know that it has nothing to do with you, but it does in a sense because you have to clear that trauma. You have to know that you're safe within yourself and then keep it moving. You got this. Promotions don't happen by you calling your friends. Promotions and upgrades happen by you processing your emotions, by you deciding I'm the only one who can transform myself, by surrendering to the universe, by surrendering to this and stop fighting it. We have to stop fighting it. All right? I hope this helped you guys. Thank you guys. And thank you for everyone who is donating to my website. I really appreciate you. If you would like to make a donation, I don't expect it, but I do appreciate it. My link is feelgoodlife.com/donate. Feelgoodlife.com/donate. I love you so much, and I will speak to you soon.